understand who you are and how you're wired, it allows you to respect others and where they are. And now we're going to those emotional, building our emotional intelligence of our personal competence and our social competence. That's the big pictures. And then the four elements in it, we our self-awareness, our self-management, our social awareness, and then our relationship management, which that all equals your emotional intelligence.
Man, and I'm just thinking, like, I know our backgrounds is government, military, but I could just see this being utilized in a variety of settings. Could you name a couple that you think would be, or more than a couple that would benefit from being a part or experiencing this DISC assessment?
Where there's people,
yeah,
where there's people, and it goes back to where there's people, there is a need. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't use that word lightly. I'm saying it again. Where there's people, there is a need. If I can be very, very transparent with you, this is something that I know that was given to me from the Lord. All right. Where does faith stand with me? Faith is number one on my list. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And with that, I understand that God wants all of us to be able, first of all, just to love each other. All right, to love each other, and to
Let's
love
get to the basics.
Then let's get
Brass
to the
tacks.
basics. That's the brass tacks right there. That's a commission for us. That's a commandment for us, right? So in that where there's people, where we're commanded to love. How do you love without communicating? How can you communicate without knowing
Mm-hmm.
who you're communicating with and how they're wired?
Mm-hmm.
And then that goes into my leadership philosophy. So right there, which breaks everything down for me.
Okay. We might as well continue on down that road, man. So let's talk about that leadership philosophy. Someone wants to sign up. Well, first off, excuse me. If someone is interested, how could they get in contact with you for a DLS solution DISC assessment? What would be some ways they can get in contact with you?
There's a few ways. The first way is you can go on to to my website. It's www.d as in Delta leadershipsolution.com. That's our website. You'll be able to see the solutions. You'll be able to get a full background on who I am. You'll be able to get a full background on what DISC is and what we offer. If you would like to reach out to me personally, you can reach me at Odom at dleadershipsolution.com. Again, that's Odom at D as in Delta leadershipsolution.com.
All right, and that was the email right there.
That was the email, yes.
All right, family. As we having family reunions virtually. All right, we got the website and we got the email. All right, so reach out to this man. But I interrupted you, so tell me a little bit about your leadership philosophy. I think you were about to head down that road, so let's continue.
Yes. So with my leadership philosophy, I would like to again go back to this is going off of the commandment of love, right?
It is what it is, brother. Give it.
So with that, with leadership, all right, my philosophy from the military, so I love acronyms, and so the acronym leadership came up to me in this leadership philosophy, and the first one is the L, to love. As a leader, you have to be aware of self, to know who you are, to love yourself, for you to effectively love others, love what you're doing, right? And that your team and that you're involved with. And the second thing is to evaluate. You need to evaluate yourself, evaluate those around you, evaluate your team members. To accept them where they are. So what's the use of evaluating and saying, okay, these are your talents, these are your skills, but yet I'm going to just not use this, that, and the third. I need you to be this.
Mm-hmm.
After you evaluate, accept them from where they are. And then once you accept them, you go into the D, you develop them.
Hey.
You develop them. So there may be shortcomings. That's okay. There were shortcomings with you. You were not always the leader that you are today. Once you develop them, then what you need to do is you need to learn to let go, which is empower them. That doesn't mean that you're taking full throttle off, because you still have to be there. It's your job as the team leader. It's your job as the one who they're looking to be available, but they need to be empowered. Next is the R, and there has to be respect. And that respect goes both ways. Mm-hmm. I tell you one thing that I learned in the military. I didn't want someone. You are going to respect the rank, because that's our,
right.
That's professional
right.
arms. But outside of the rank, I needed you to know that you were important. Okay, and my why was bigger than the uniform, and you as a person is important to me. So I'm going to respect you, and you're going to respect me and everything that comes along with that.
And let me
yes,
jump
sir.
in, because you hit on something. I gotta touch it. Being in the military, they sell you on family, right? Mm-hmm. Well, especially in the Army, it's a unit with family or whatever. But those individuals that you still respected the rank, but you knew they respected you and wanted to develop you, you would follow them wherever we needed to go. Whatever the mission was, hey, I got Sarn back because Sarn got my back. But when you knew that you were just a pawn, you like, oh man, I'm only gonna do what's required. But that above and beyond, that kind of breaks down, because it's not extended to you. Right, it's expected of you, but it's not extended. So I think you highlighted that beautifully. I guess that was just more for our non-military individuals that's maybe listening to us. But go ahead.
And that's real. And the one thing, again, I'm recently retired. We just hit a year with my ceremony this last March the 20th, and the one thing that it is flying. The one thing that I'm getting accustomed to, and that I need to take a look at on the civilian sector is just how that respect goes. Because again, being honest, it's different. I think with the military, you really don't have a choice to show up. You don't show up to work, right? To come first sergeant.
Consequences.
Right, there's going to be consequences. So, you don't show up on the civilian sector, there's still consequences. I mean, your paycheck and different things of that nature. But that does not. So respect across the board is just something that I believe, again, as humans, as people, that we should offer one another. Again, we're talking about being efficient, right, in the workplace, no matter what that is. So that respect was the R, and then you have the S. You need to sustain everything above that we just talked about. You need to sustain that love. Continually evaluate. Remember, man, okay, got it. I received this person with these shortfalls, and it's my job as a leader. And then if I have subordinate leaders, then empower them to take care of and develop, and all that good stuff. So that's important that we sustain the communication that got us here. And then the next one is that H. We have to lead with humility. You were just talking about the different leaders that you would run through a wall for, right?
Right.
A part of that respect comes with being humble. Like being humble is one of that's a mantle that that anyone will be willing to work with and run through a wall for, because they understand that your team members know that you're not just doing it for you, you're doing it for them. You're doing it for the betterment of the organization, right? So, man, that word just really sticks with me, as every day one of my prayers is for humility, and I'm talking about true humility. Okay, I'm talking about true humility. So then we go on to the I, and that's to inspire. Where your goal as a leader should be a inspirational leader. You know, my philosophy is if that I'm asking you to do something, then I have the knowledge on how to do it. I've been there, done that. I'm ready to lead from the front. But a part of this development and empowerment, I need you to do it, right? Because we all have our roles to play. And if I'm an inspirational leader, just like, again, what you just talked about, your team members are going to want to do it because who you are, because what you bring to the team, because they know that you care. And then the P, and I call it the P squared. And that P, you have to have patience with the process.
Whoa,
you have to have patience with the process. You know, everything. You know, they say Rome wasn't built in a day. You know, teamwork is something. Most of the time, before you become a team, you start off as a group, right?
Right.
So a lot of organizations, you know, you may say that you're a team, but you're really a group when you really break things down. So it's a process to get to the team. And then the other P is to protect the brand. All right. As a leader in protecting the brand, you make sure that everything is in line for you to take care of your people and your people to take care of you. In the Air Force, in the Army, the brand that we were protecting was Big Green, Big Blue, right?
Yes, sir.
Which you know, looking over that, it was the DOD. And if you break it down to the lower levels, whatever squadron, whatever battalion, whatever unit, whatever you are, you're protecting the brand, because you know if something happened on your watch or one of your buddies, your bros, it's a reflection on everybody.
Right.
So protect the brand. So you break all that stuff down, that leadership philosophy. It actually spells out leadership. Again, military acronyms. It's a good way for me to remember. You know what I mean?
All day. If I mean, now you're getting a view of what type of person leads this organization, this DLS, and their philosophy, right? So you want to improve, whether this be a church group, whether this be team, basketball team, football team, something in the schools. Is like Patrick said, wherever there's people, there's a need for improvement and understanding among communication.
If I can add one thing to